The Nile River Valley seems to have been somewhat less patriarchal than its neighbor. Women had similar legal status and rights as men. They were able to divorce, run businesses, but social pressure may have prevented them from exercising those rights. Women and men are often depicted in art in loving embraces that appear mutual. Mesopotamian and Egyptian rulers engaged in diplomacy, and so from those conversations we can tell a lot about women's lives. Mesopotamian rulers were accustomed to marrying their daughters off to establish peace between states, but Egyptian found this oppressive. One Egyptian diplomat wrote,
From ancient times, the daughter of the king of Egypt has not been given to anyone.
Egyptian women were even known to be pharaohs, which allows us to know a few specific women. Merneith was a queen consort and regent that lived around 2970 BCE. She may have ruled in her own right for a period of time, as her tomb is similar to other Egyptian kings, with a large underground chamber, graves for servants, sacrificial offerings, and a solar boat. Her name is also included on a list of pharaohs with the title King's Mother. If she truly ruled in her own right, Merneith would replace Kubaba as the first in recorded history. Nefertiti is considered one of the most mysterious and powerful women in ancient Egypt, ruling from 1353 to 1336 BCE. She came to power as a favored consort of Pharaoh Akhenaten. Eventually, she became his wife and is depicted alongside her husband with an unprecedented frequency. She gave birth to 6 daughters. That's a lot of babies, but yes, 6 daughters. And so her husband started taking on other wives to try to get a male heir, including his own sister. Ew. Yes, the ancient Egyptians made great advances in science, but certainly not when it comes to genetics. Eventually, they made a politically problematic move to replace Egypt's polytheistic faith in many gods with a form of monotheism, worshiping only the sun god called Aten. This caused such an uproar that they had to move the entire capital in order to secure their power. From there, Nefertiti is pretty much wiped from the historic record. So some people think that she died, but it's also possible that she ruled outright under a different name. Interestingly, no one has found her burial place, which is unusual for a queen of her status. Her husband fathered the future King Tut. Tut owes his fame to the stunning treasures that were buried with him and recently discovered. But Tut died in his teens. So one theory is that the elaborate tomb that we've seen, which certainly could not have been built in time for his premature death as a teenager, was actually built for Nefertiti. In his chamber with him, there are pictures that look like her. So maybe that's where the powerful Queen of Egypt rests. Is this the world's first case of identity theft or grave theft? Finally, Hatshepsut reigned between 1478 and 1458 BCE. She became Queen of Egypt after marrying her half-brother at the age of 12. Then, she became regent to her infant stepson, Thutmose III, when her husband died. Eventually, Hatshepsut assumed the title and full powers of pharaoh. She demanded to be portrayed with art with all the symbols of a pharaoh, sometimes including a fake beard. Hatshepsut was laid to rest in the Valley of the Kings, fake beard and all. Later, kings tried to remove her from history, but clearly they failed. A clear win for Herstory.